Hi, welcome to Monterey's Cooking. I'm Cookin Pisto, and it's time for squash talk. Now, what is this guy talking about? Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Look, you go to the supermarket, you see all these different types of squash sitting in a corner all piled up. What the heck do I do with these things? Well, today I'm going to show you what to do with some of these things, okay? Now, there's some varieties. Some people grow up with these, some don't. Some are your mom uses them, and they're pretty basic. Treat them like a potato. They make great soups. You deep fry them. I think maybe as a potato, most people know it that way. But today I'm going to try a couple of different things with them. But let me talk about them for a little bit. These are acorn squash. Everybody knows these. Now, you know why it's called an acorn, right? Right. This is a Japanese squash that's on the market. And the reason you see so many varieties of squash is that the farmers now are in this growing thing of growing new varieties. And they're always getting new varieties in the supermarket, which makes it great, for people that like to experiment with food. This is terrific. And you get, this is a variety from Japan, you get them from Europe, and it's fun to experiment. This is a Japanese variety that you'll see when you go and eat tempura. This is what the squash they use. Look at it inside. It's beautiful too, nice colors. Okay, then look at these. These are these Hubbard. This is a big Hubbard squash. This is a gray Hubbard. This is green, this is a gray. We got some names on these also. Now I got these at Henry's over at Star Market. He helped me. This is called the Delicado. He says these are one-shot deals most of the time. And I guess if they really hit with the customers, then you'll see them again next year. And these last almost forever. You put them in a dark place, and you can eat them all during the winter. Very, very, very good too. All right, so let me look at these little ones. I know when my friend Paul Bocuse from France came, he was on this hunt to find a baby red squash, the pumpkin squash. And what they do in very expensive restaurants is they'll cut off the top and make a pumpkin soup and then pour the soup back into it and serve it to you that way. Beautiful presentation. And he was on a quest to find that. In fact, we found it for him, I think, right here in Carmel Valley, or in Salinas Valley, one of the growers. And we were shipping him seeds to France. And he was the first to have the baby vegetables. This was back in the 80s. So let's try to do some of these things. Let me show you the basic way, first of all, is the baked squash. Okay, that's baked in the oven. And what you do is these are pretty. Okay, this squash is very similar to a butternut. This is the butternut. This is, I think, a lot of people consider this the king of the squashes. Maybe this is. It's very close to it, okay? But we're going to open both of them. So let me show you how to prepare it at home. If you want to try something very different, you just go like this. You cut the pith out. This is a great squash because it doesn't have a lot of the, when you're cutting pumpkin and stuff, it has all those strings and stuff. But talking about strings, we're going to talk about a very interesting squash that utilizes the string. Okay, we're going to rub it with a little honey, just like this. Okay, you try this. I tell you, these are, I would say it's very similar to a sweet potato. The kids will love this. Okay, you put a little honey on it. I'm going real fast, so I should shape these maybe a little better so it holds the honey like this. Okay. Let's do. Okay, see what I'm doing? Just so as that melts, it goes inside. Let's put that back. Okay, we've got that going. And then we've put a little bit of butter on them. And I think you should baste these at least once. Very simple. Pop them in the oven, and you got the old baked squash. All right. Now let's do a very, very, very delicious one. Okay, where we're going to use boiled squash, or excuse me, pardon me. It's going to be baked butternut squash with grilled onions, and we're going to make a soup out of it. All right, so let's do that, and we just break it up, and we're going to throw this in the oven, and we'll grill our onions off first. Okay, real easy to clean, you see, and these have very interesting flavors, even raw. This has a lot of sugar in it. That has a very nice flavor. Okay, we're going to grill the onion. And so, you know, we're just going to put these in the pan like this. And we want these to roast off in the oven because we want some of that nice charred flavor. So this is going to take about 45 minutes to an hour. When we come back, we'll put the soup together for you. Get your onions grilling, though. Don't forget that, okay? Okay, now let me show you the baked squash. I just did this one very simple, just to show you in case no one knows how to use these kind of vegetables. I mean, it's very simple. And this always seems, and then this is cinnamon I'm putting on. You can put nutmeg. And you know, this goes well with pork. Any kind of roast is just delicious. Okay, remember this is the honey, the butter, salt and pepper, a little bit of cinnamon. I would actually put the cinnamon before. See? Okay, that's done. And that, like I said, nice slice of pork roast is just delicious. Okay, now let's get our soup. Now I've caramelized these onions. I've grilled them. It's gonna go right into into our food processor. This is another easy one. You see this soup in restaurants. You know, the new style places. Okay, turn that off. Let's get the baked. Okay. All right. You see how that is? See how they're a little browned on the side? That's exactly what we want. All right, now with the spoon, what we're going to do is just pull that right out. And in it goes. Okay. See how dense? This is very dense stuff. Just scoop it out. Careful, it's hot. Now I like baking it because what it does is we're not going to be diluting it with water if you boiled it, because I want to taste the flavor of this, because this is so good naturally because of this natural sweetness in it from the sugar. I don't know, I think everyone knows. You guys eat a lot of squash? Does everyone know about it? No, not too much. See, yeah, we don't eat enough squash. Yeah, those big banana squash, those are just great. You ever see those in the supermarket? Big long thing, look like a torpedo. Those are great. It's very similar to this, although this is very meaty, very coarse, very dense, and very hot. But just move it out like that. Now what I've got, if we need it, is some chicken stock. What I'll do is put a little bit in there because we're gonna finish this with some cream too. Okay. Needs a little more chicken stock. So, you know, if we wanted to make this very, very rich, we would add, of course, the chicken stock. I mean, we would add the cream, but I'm going to add more cream. I'm going to add more chicken stock than cream. We'll make this nice and thick, then we'll taste it. Let's see what we got here. Oh boy, tastes of onion. Very good. A little bit more. Put a little salt. Now, in the meantime, let's let that really, really puree up. Okay? So now we're going to get our cream. And we're going to get our cream ready, which is right here. And let's heat up a little cream. And then we'll pulse that in. Okay. Now I'm going to put, I want a touch of honey, and that's all. I mean literally a touch, folks. All right? We're going to give it a touch of honey. And as this gets thicker, see now this is, let me show you. You see how thick this is? And that's a puree. So now we want to thin it down, and we'll thin it down with the honey. Let's give it a little bit of the cinnamon. I mean just a touch, because it goes so well. Okay. This is a very nice soup. It's very, very nice soup. Make sure that lid is on, or this stuff will go all over the place. Let me tell you. Okay. See, the soup's hot. The cream is hot. It should use just about that much, and then we're just going to pulse it. Okay. Now just get it to the consistency of a nice thick soup. Okay, a little bit more. Could use a little bit more cream. Now, why am I heating up the cream? 2 reasons. To thicken it up a little bit, and I don't want to make this cold. Okay, that's perfect. Now, to serve it, you get that nice and hot, and you have the right amount. Serve it right out of the Cuisinart, or even pour it. And I would serve this with a little sprig or 2 of some thyme. And folks, you have a beautiful soup made out of squash. Roasted onions and a little bit of cream. See, I didn't use a lot of cream. This is medicine. When we come back, we're going to go on with our squash extravaganza. Okay, now this is the other one. This is probably the most fascinating of all. This is probably the most exciting vegetable come out of the farms in the last 50 years. It's called spaghetti squash. Okay, this is what it looks like. Right? You get it, you put it in hot water, you can put a cover on it, and you boil it. You can bake it too, but boil it until it's soft. Magic, like this. Then you take it out. Be very careful. You put it over here. This should take at least 45 minutes to an hour at home, maybe a little longer. And if you have a turbo oven or a turbo stove like I do, half hour will do it. Okay, you cut it in half. Woo! Because it's hot. Now this is, you want to talk about doing something with the children? This would be the one, because you know, the kids will think it's a miracle when this happens. Now pull the seeds out. See the seeds in there? Okay, let's get it ready. In the meantime, now you can do it real easy and just add some butter to it and a little cinnamon, and it would be delicious. But you know, we don't want to do easy things here, folks. We got to make it a little bit more complicated. Okay. This doesn't have much seed to it. It's very interesting. Okay. All right. So let's just put this over here for 1 second. And these call for very, very quick made sauces. And what I'll do, real fast. Okay, get the shallot. Get your shallots going real quickly. You see, shallot, olive oil. And this is gonna go real quick. I'm gonna show you how to make 2 sauces, not 1. Okay, there. And while that one's going, let's do the other one. Let's chop up some garlic. Smash it good. Get your pan going. Let me move this over. And like this. Now at home, if you want to try this, you can do spaghetti squash with 2 sauces. I'll tell you, you're going to impress everybody. Okay, this is the garlic. Now this is going to put a lot of garlic because we want some flavor in here. Now that one's with the shallot. Remember, one's with shallot, one's with garlic. Okay, real easy. Chop it up real coarse. All right. Okay, olive oil. Now these are pitted Kalamata olives. I'm going to put some of that in there. And these have been pitted, but check them all. If you buy pitted olives, always check for pits. I always find a pit. My friend Dr. Riccardi will love you if you don't check them. Biggest problems people have when they come into the office is biting on an olive pit. Interesting, huh? That and caramel candy. Guess what he gives out in his office? Olives and caramel candy. Way to go, Tony. No, he doesn't. Okay, chop up fresh tomato. I'm using fresh tomato because I've got some ripe ones at home that I want to move. But you can use, nice chopped tomatoes in the can. Because what we're doing is really a tomato sauce. And look how coarse I'm chopping this. Okay, right in, just like that. Okay, that look good already. We'll chop some parsley. See, when I said fast, I meant fast. Okay, then we're going to finish that with a little butter. Just like that. Okay, this is going to have to go a lot faster than that. Now we got basil for this. And we got big chunks of basil. And I'm going to put a little bit of thyme in there. Okay, let's add a nice shot of the basil in here. Chop it coarse. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then pine nuts go into the other sauce. Okay, now let's put this guy together. Now you see how fast this makes the sauce? That's pretty darn fast. Okay, that's done, that's done. Now, here comes the magic, kids. Watch this. This is magic. Okay, you watching this? Here comes the spaghetti. See that? Look at that. You see it? Right before your very eyes, you have got a very hot squash. Oh boy. If you hold it with the rag, it'll be a lot better. Look at that. That is just incredible. Now, did we say that squash takes about 45 minutes or so? Okay, just bring it right. Look at that. That's incredible. Okay, we got a dish. to serve it. And we're gonna put this together. We'll do one with fresh tomato sauce. Look at that. I mean, if that doesn't look like pasta, I don't know what does. And that looks like capellini. Look at this, especially when you do it like that. Now, if I was a kid and I didn't like vegetables and I love pasta, and you know how kids love pasta, I'd eat this in a minute. And you can fool them. Okay, then you get the other one. This is maybe a little bit more grown up. You toss that. God, that's delicious. Omit the butter if you want and add more olive oil, because that'll work. You see we got that garlic nice and crispy. Okay, are we talking vegetarian here? No, we're talking vegetable lover. Look at this. Folks, I'll guarantee you, you try this one, your kids will love you for it. I mean, look at that. Isn't that crazy? It's delicious, okay? So, here you have it. Fast lesson in squash. Enjoy them. They're good for you, too.